How do you enter into divine rhythm? Well, first I'm gonna tell you how you don't do it. And it's definitely not by grinding your ass off. It's definitely not to hustling until you die. It's definitely not being more busy. Busyness is actually the enemy of trust, because when you're taking your busyness into your own hands and you're trying to do more to accomplish more, you're coming from a place of incompleteness. You're coming from a place of, I have to do everything and God is not working in my favor. So in order to enter into divine rhythm in the way God intended it, God intended from the beginning, and you have to trust that it's already complete. That's why on the seventh day, God didn't rest from fatigue like we normally do. We think that we have to work, and then finally we deserve a break. Finally, we deserve to take some rest. God didn't do that from that space. And this is further established by Jesus when he tells us that the Sabbath was created for man. It's not man for the Sabbath. And so by saying that, it's a present, it's a gift, it's wisdom in resting that God wants us to really receive it. Because when we receive the gift of rest, then we're able to come from a place of, it's already all done. There's nothing to worry about. There's no rush. And it allows you to pause and to remember that when you're being still, God is still working in the unseen in your favor. And so rest is actually trust training, because when you trust in God that he is moving mountains for you, that he is putting everything in place for you, then you can just relax. But if you think that you're the one that has to get everything in order and you're the one that has to do everything, you're the one that has to make all the different connections, then you're basically telling God that he's not on the throne, that I got this, I'm the one that could do everything. And you're missing that part of the relationship that God is giving you. And so by trusting in him and trusting that he's moving the unseen world for your favor, then you're able to take some time and go within and make sure that you're renewing your mind, that you're renewing your cells, you're renewing your trust as well. And there's so many different gifts in that to unwrap, but one of the biggest gifts that I've noticed in my life from resting more is that when we rest, we're able to go into our mind's eye and start to visualize the thing that we're walking towards, and you can see it as whole and complete. And when you're holding that vision, then you're holding it as it's already done. So you're able to tap into the feeling of it being complete. You're able to tap into the emotions of what it feels like to be in a complete vision. And so when you're doing that, God is actually getting to work for you. Because when you're too busy, then you're blocking the gifts that God has for you. God is not able to talk to you if you never sit down and listen. God is never able to work for you if you're the one that thinks that you're always having to grind, and the more that you do, the more you get out of it. That's not how God works, and that's why he created the Sabbath for men to learn this lesson, because he knew how much we were gonna get into this way of thinking that our works are what gives us the life that we want. And it's never our works. It's always through God's grace, because we're saved by grace through faith. Faith is the currency of heaven, because when you have faith, you're coming from trust. You're coming from the fact that it's already done and we're just getting to walk it out. And we're saved by grace through faith for good works. And so the good works is not coming from a place of I have to strive harder and do more in order to receive and to earn. It's coming from a place of I already received all of it. Everything that God has in store for me is already received because I know God always keeps his promises. And so if I'm coming from it's already done, then my works becomes joyful. Then it becomes a pleasure to do the work and not something that I have to do, but something that I want to do, something that I'm willing and gladly doing.